Have you ever wondered that you can probably diagnose health problems deep inside the body by using your face? Let's learn what to watch, meaning, and what you can do about it. Number 1. Round face or losing jawline. It is caused by too much fat buildup in your face. High insulin resistance is one of the main reasons for round face. This could be the beginning of other future health problems that we do not see from the outside. Most of healthy young men and women seem to have sharp jawlines because they are less likely to be insulin resistant. As the insulin resistance progresses beyond the age of 20, the jawline generally starts to disappear. What you can do. Watching your diet is the key to preserving the jawline. Reduce consuming junk food. Reducing your carb intake is an effective way to reduce insulin resistance. If you need to see relatively faster results, you may go for a low-carb diet, healthy keto, or intermittent fasting. Number 2. Oily skin. The oil-producing gland under your skin is making too much oil because your androgen hormones are too high. For males, too much androgen hormone may be associated with higher estrogen, which is necessary for females. On the other hand, if you are female, too much androgens may cause polycystic ovarian syndrome, and you might have other symptoms like facial hair and acne. This list of problems can go on and on. Again, this higher level of androgen hormones could be coming from insulin resistance. What you can do. Increase insulin sensitivity. A high carbohydrate diet can deplete zinc from your body and further exacerbate insulin resistance. It will help if you increase your zinc intake. You also need to reduce your carb intake so that insulin resistance goes down. If you need to see relatively faster results, you may adopt a low-carb diet, healthy keto, and/or intermittent fasting. Number 3. Balding or losing hair on the top part of your head. This means you have too much DHT. DHT is a very powerful form of testosterone that is occurring because there is a certain form of enzyme in your body that is converting testosterone into DHT at a higher level than it is supposed to. This enzyme is called 5-alpha reductase. What you can do. You need to reduce the enzyme. There could be medical intervention using drugs. But I am telling how to moderate this effect of a higher level of DHT through dietary intervention. One way to reduce this enzyme is by taking certain inhibitors, and those inhibitors are commonly found in pumpkin seeds, green tea, and zinc. Number 4. Red cheeks. Red cheeks are common in Cushing's syndrome. This syndrome occurs when you have a high level of cortisol hormone, especially when you are under a lot of stress. To prevent this from happening, increase your intake of garlic, oregano, thyme, sage. Sometimes probiotic supplements also help reduce the redness of the cheeks. Number 5. Gray or brownish cheeks. This pigmentation of the skin is also called melasma. This can be caused by too much estrogen through birth control pills or hormone therapy. What you can do is increase your intake of cruciferous vegetables or iodine in the form of sea kelp. Number 6. Blackheads. This condition is simply caused by a vitamin D deficiency. What you can do is increase your sun exposure, of course safely. You do not want UV rays. The best time to get sun exposure is in the morning before 8 a.m. and in the afternoon after 4 p.m. The good practice is when the UV index is less than 2. Additionally, you can take a vitamin D supplement with calcium in it. Number 7. You are losing eyebrows on the outer part. This means you may have been suffering from a hypothyroid issue. This is a condition in which the thyroid gland does not produce enough thyroid hormone. What you can do is fix your thyroid function first. Besides medical intervention using drugs, you can increase the intake of iodine. For example, use iodine salt in cooking and eat a moderate quantity of Brazil nuts. Number 8. You have bloodshot eyes. This condition signals a liver problem. This can be caused by overnight drinking and hangover issues. We know that too much alcohol puts stress on the liver. Other causes could be bad eating habits, such as eating too much junk food frequently. If the bloodshot appears inside the eyelid, this signals a blood sugar problem. You are eating too much carbohydrates such as rice, bread, pasta, sugar, and sugary food, among others. Sometimes, you can also feel sandpaper in your eyes. This also means you have insulin resistance. You are pre-diabetic or heading in that direction. To prevent this, you need to reduce your carb intake. You may adopt a low-carb diet if you need to see relatively faster results. Number 9. Dark circle underneath the eyes. This dark circle is a pigment problem coming from insulin resistance. This problem is more common to people who are diabetic, pre-diabetic, or heading in that direction. This dark pigment can also appear in other parts of the body such as armpits, neck, or places where your skin folds. This dark pigment comes from a higher level of insulin affecting melanin. To prevent this, you need to reduce your carb intake to decrease insulin resistance. If you need to see relatively faster results, you may adopt a low-carb diet, healthy keto, and/or intermittent fasting. Number 10. Eye bags underneath the eyes. There could be something going on with your kidney. The buildup of fluids in your kidney may be reflected in the swollen tissue underneath the eyes, or even top of the eyes. This is also linked with insulin resistance. This problem is more common to people who are diabetic, pre-diabetic, or heading in that direction. What you can do is reduce blood sugar. You need to reduce your carb intake so that insulin resistance goes down. If you need to see relatively faster results, you may adopt a low-carb diet, healthy keto, and/or intermittent fasting. Number 11. Cataracts in eyes. Cataracts appear when the lens of the eye becomes opaque and you can no longer see through it. Eye lenses are very sensitive to oxidation. You can get oxidation from looking into the sun, chemical exposure, certain medication, or from taking steroids. But very common cause would be if you consume a high-carb diet. This is why diabetic people develop cataracts more often. What you can do is increase vitamin B1 intake, mainly fat-soluble version. You are also likely consuming high carbohydrates, which cause sugar issues. You can reduce your carb intake so that insulin resistance goes down. Adopting a low-carb diet, healthy keto, and/or intermittent fasting will help you slow down or reverse the formation of cataracts in your eyes. Number 12. Scaly and flaky skin around nose or ear. Low omega-3 fatty acids and high omega-6 fatty acids can cause this. The ideal ratio is 1:1. This problem occurs when you have an imbalance in the ratio. This can also cause dry eyes and dry hair. What you can do is establish a balance of omega-3 and 6 to its ideal level. Increase your intake of omega-3 such as seafood, cod liver oil, and fatty fish. At the same time, reduce the intake of omega-6 rich foods such as all forms of vegetable oil, peanuts, etc. Imbalance of this ratio will cause all sorts of skin issues, including dry skin. Number 13. Cracked corners of your mouth. It is possibly a vitamin B2 deficiency. Vitamin B2 prevents the liver from becoming damaged. This deficiency can also cause a lot of other things such as tissue cracks, chapped lips, and cracks in the heel. Vitamin deficiency comes from consuming too much refined carbohydrates such as refined flour, pasta, cereal, crackers or biscuits, pancakes, among others. What you can do is increase intake of B2 vitamin-rich food and or B2 supplement. Increase garlic and zinc intake. Reduce mental stress. Number 14. Facial hair for female. It is caused by too much androgen hormone. A higher level of androgen may also increase estrogen. This situation can eventually cause polycystic ovarian syndrome. This is often associated with high insulin resistance and acne in the face. Reducing your carb intake is an effective way to reduce insulin resistance. If you need to see relatively faster results, you may adopt a low-carb diet, healthy keto, and or intermittent fasting. The acne will disappear very quickly once you start a low-carb diet. Most importantly, the added benefit of low-carb diet is that complication in getting pregnant sometimes goes away. Please comment below if you think this video was helpful. You can also share this video to whom you think this video might be relevant. Thanks for watching.